everyone. This is a video on overseas assets, which means if you hold any overseas assets, you're living in Australia, you're Australian resident, but you got overseas assets. You might be getting some income from there, or you sold some assets. Assets can be anything, can be shares, can be a term deposit overseas, can be can be property. So what about income from the asset? Let's say you're getting interest, or you're getting rent, or you're getting dividend. How do account for? And what happens when you sell it? Is it taxable? Let's find out. So as you can see in the slide, assets can be cryptocurrency or term deposits or a property or some shares. Assets can be anything which you are not holding here. Overseas assets you are holding overseas. Now what to do, how to account for that? Now very important question is, before accounting of foreign assets and foreign income, you need to understand, you need to find out first, I'm sorry, that are you Australian resident for tax purposes or you are non-resident for tax purposes. For resident for tax purposes, there are basic rules which you can see here. Normally, people who are citizens or people who are living here, who have got a job here, who have got a family here, they have a house here, or they may be renting here, their family is living here, their wife is here, their kids are going to school. All of them are normally resident for tax purposes. And who are non-residents? Normally people who come for a short visit, maybe on a short-term business visa or a short-term tourist visa. Those people are normally not non-residents. But to be a resident or non-resident, there are few factors which you need to find out. So step one, if you have a foreign assets or foreign income, the first step to find out is if you are a resident or non-resident for tax purpose. This is very important. This should be your starting step. How you can find out? Just search in ATO website. Otherwise, you can see on the screen there are some rules. You can see and you can find out if you are a resident for tax purposes or not. Even international students are resident for tax purposes. People on work visa 457 who are employed here in companies, they are also resident for tax purposes. So international student, work visa people, citizens, PR, all of them are normally, I'm saying normally, they are resident for tax purposes, and they have to disclose their income and their assets overseas. If you have overseas assets in Indonesia, in China, in India, then you have to disclose it. But if you are a non-resident, then you do not have to disclose the income. If you are non-resident, you do not disclose, but if you are resident, you have to disclose by law. Okay, what do you have to disclose? As you can see on the screen, if you received any foreign income at maybe foreign salary or bank interest or dividend or rental income or any other source of income, foreign business you are doing, I am assuming that you're resident, so legally you have to disclose it in your income and pay tax here in Australia. Now what happens if you have already paid tax? For example, you did 3 months job, you went to an assignment in Indonesia and you earned some salary from there and you paid some tax there. So you lodge your tax in Indonesia. What will happen after 3 months when you come to Australia? You have to disclose that income. That income will be added to your Australian income, and the tax what you have paid in Indonesia, that tax you will get a credit for that. So foreign tax credit will be allowed to you. A foreign income will be added to your Australian income. If Australian income is zero in that year, so your only source of income will be foreign income. That's fine. You have to disclose at level 20. As you can see on the screen, level 20. Okay. But if your only source is foreign income and you're a resident, you paid some foreign tax you have paid some tax in foreign country, you cannot get a refund. You cannot say, I worked in Indonesia for 2 months, I have paid this much tax, my income is below Australian threshold, so I should get all the refund back. Australian government will not give you refund for the foreign tax you have paid. They will only give you refund for the tax which you have paid in Australia. You understand? This is very important. But they will allow you credit. So credit in the sense, whatever is your tax liability, whatever tax you have paid in Australia, you will get credit for that. This is very important. Now the question is, people think that, oh, I have got foreign income, I will not disclose this. What can tax office do? What can Australian government do? No, that's not the right way, because Australian governments have got treaty. They got treaty to disclose the income. So let us say you went to Indonesia, you opened a bank account there with your Australian passport, right? And you told them you are foreign citizen or foreign resident. So by law, they will be disclosing your income in Indonesia, what you have earned, to Australian authorities. I'm just giving you example. Australian government has got treaty with agreements with many countries, especially Europe, especially New Zealand, America, and a lot of other countries also, and it is increasing day by day. So do not risk that. Do not do anything illegal. If you have earned any income from overseas, you must disclose it here in Australia. Okay. The problem, as you can see on the screen, when you will get remittance from Indonesia, you worked there for 2 months, when you will remit that amount from Indonesia to Australia, Australian bank will notify it you, and you will get a letter from them that you have received $50,000 from overseas. Please tell us the source. Why have you received all those things? If you cannot disclose, if you have got no explanation, then we are going to add it in your income. Bad luck. Don't do it. Report it. Report your foreign income so that you do not get any letters in future. Do not do that mistake. Report your foreign income and your foreign tax credit. Australian Taxation Office is just after that, because there are a lot of people who are migrants and who got foreign assets and who got foreign income. Thanks for watching. This video is applicable to, I would say, around 30 to 50% of people living in Australia. Why? Because they have moved from a country outside Australia. They have moved in last 20, 30 years. Most of the migration has started after 1990, so people start coming in, but they still have their assets overseas. Maybe India, maybe China, maybe Africa, maybe Europe. They got assets there. They're getting pension from there, old age pension. They got bank accounts there, they got term deposits there, they got their family home which they have sold, right? So they still have got assets and income overseas. So make sure you disclose your income and assets in your Australian tax return if you are resident for tax purposes. If you are non-resident, then obviously you don't have to disclose it. I hope this video was good, you enjoyed it, you learned something new. Please share this video to your friends and subscribe to our channel. Thanks again for watching. See you in the next video. Bye for now.